We decided to visit First Methodist for the first time. We've been very involved in our church in Birmingham. We knew we wanted to stay within the Methodist Church. That's where we had been for several years, and we just felt that kind of sense of community we had not felt at other Methodist churches in town, honestly. And that kind of had the most to do with our decision.
One of the first things I noticed when we worshiped at First Methodist for the first time was the sense of hospitality. I go to church by myself a lot, and never once I felt like I didn't belong or awkward. Everybody was so hospitable and very, very welcoming.
So the reason we decided to visit a second time is Elizabeth and I come from very diverse church backgrounds. She was raised in the Catholic Church, and I was raised in the Church of Christ, but had played in praise and worship bands in Birmingham. And she had obviously had a very structured style of worship, and I had been a little bit more relaxed in the past. And so we wanted to visit both services to kind of see both sides of the worship services at First Methodist. And we actually visited the sanctuary several times before we actually, now we go to the bridge. I play in the praise and worship band there and am involved there.
One of the first things we wanted to do when we moved from Birmingham was to join a church. That was our top priority list. So when we figured out First Methodist was where we wanted to join, we got very involved. Walt plays the drums on Sundays, and I volunteer for VBS, and we're on the bridge corps team. And what really solidified First Methodist for us was our Sunday school. Getting involved in a Sunday school it kind of brought the community closer in for us and really established that sense of community that we were hoping to find in a church. One thing that I think would be very helpful for newcomers is if Rock Solid was explained at the beginning of worship or during the time where the kids left. I've had several friends visiting, and it's time for all the kids to get up and go, and they don't know where their kids go, they don't know who they're going with, they don't know where to pick them up. And I love how the kids are involved in the worship service, because growing up I didn't have that. However, I would be very hesitant to just send my kids off with people I didn't know.
And then I guess the one thing that I think is somewhat of a barrier, I think, to some people visiting our church, which is kind of with my job, I see a lot of people in the community. I see people at all ends of the socioeconomic spectrum, and there's a perception in this city that First Methodist is the quote-unquote high church. It is a very affluent church, and I can't necessarily say that that's a wrong impression, but I think that sometimes that builds a little bit of a wall around the church and may be a significant hump for people to get over. I think once they get through the doors, I think everything we've said thus far confirms that they would be welcomed in with open arms. But I think that is somewhat a perception, and I'm not sure how we go about changing that, because a lot of those attributes are, of our members are true. We are a very affluent church. And I think that a lot of things are being done right now to try to branch out into the community with Harbor Church and the Bridge and things like that. But I do think that may be somewhat of an obstacle and maybe could be worked on.
We are so proud to call First Methodist home. Every time I meet new people in town, I'm always encouraging them to come visit with us and worship with us. And we couldn't be happier to call First Methodist our home.
I think it's a place that helps to cultivate your talents for the glory of God. We've been very happy since we've been here, and really don't have anything but good things to say.
And it's a great place to raise your kids.
It is.
Great place.